All right, and now let us say hello to one of the biggest stories of 2020. What a year this man has had. Kevin Holland improved to 5-0 this year. He's coming off that amazing win over Jacare Souza at UFC 256, and here he is sitting in the driver's seat to set up a massive 2021. But we did want to talk to him because we spoke to him just a few weeks ago. And the first question I would ask you, Kevin, is where's Pops? You were supposed to bring Pops on
I
to
was supposed to. I couldn't stay
verify.
long. I thought I was going to be doing something this weekend. And it turns out I wasn't going to be doing anything this weekend. If
Oh,
that was the case, I would have stayed in California a little longer. But you know, I came back home to Texas so I could get ready.
now, wait a second. You said you thought you were going to do something this weekend. Did it involve fighting?
Jiu-jitsu. I thought I was going to do a jiu-jitsu match, but they pulled the plug on it. So
Ah,
maybe next time.
who's they?
Oh, the boss. The boss. They said no, not right now. They said you've done enough this year. Sit still. Sit
you,
still, grasshopper.
but you wanted to be active. You wanted to get one more competition in this year.
Yeah, I'm still hungry. I'm very hungry, and it's like I feel like I'm more hungry now than I was per se. Halloween night or the fight before that or the fight before that. And it's like winning tastes good. Winning at this level tastes even better. And it's like tougher the fight, and it seems like the happier I am. And then the fight's over, and I'm back like, oh man, looking for that thrill again. So I keep the thrill going.
So when you have like a relatively quick fight, like the one that you had on Saturday, while spectacular, do you almost feel unfulfilled because it was so quick?
Yeah, yeah, I definitely want more. It's like I don't, it's like I don't like to get cut open in my fights because then my family's like, oh, you got cut, that's not good. But then at the same time, the warrior in you is like, you want to bleed, you want to get banged up, you want to have a good fight. It dies down the warrior spirit for a little while.
Was there any chance of you fighting on this December 19th card? Like, was that brought up at all?
No, no, no. But figured I shoot my shot, shoot or shoot. So I had to
That's
shoot,
right.
you know. Yeah. So
But they didn't
better
entertain
luck
it.
next time. No, no entertainment on that part. Better luck next time. It's always I could always try and get 6 to 7 next year.
That's
So
right.
see if we can start a little bit sooner than we started this year, and maybe we can get the job done.
You strike me, Kevin, as a very confident guy. Like you're not short on confident, but confidence. But for a guy who just fought in the UFC, right, the Ultimate Fighting Championship, the number one MMA organization on the planet, you fought 5 times. You could have also even fought 6 times if things worked out, and you won all those fights, all of them in impressive fashion. Like, what is the confidence level of a young man who just fought in the UFC 5 times, tied a record that was set by only 2 other fighters in the history of the modern era of the UFC? Like, when you're walking around doing your daily thing, it's a random day back home in Texas. You must feel like you are the man, right? Like, it just must be like the most amazing feeling to end the year this way, I would imagine.
It feels good. That's the good thing about winning fights. It feels good. But then another thing about fights is it's like it goes away pretty quick too. Because the reality sets in. There's always somebody else that's going to be standing in front of you in another goal. So it's like I'm confident. Yeah, I feel great. I feel good. Come home, feel good for a little while. We'll talk about it. The first time everybody sees me, they'll have something to say about what I just did. The second time they see me, that's long gone and in the past. So I go back to feeling very normal, very quick. Feels good to do what I've done this year. It's like, but the job is just getting started. And so it's like they're like, that was nice. Bet you can't do it twice. So it's like challenge yourself if you must, but think too highly of yourself, you must not. That's not a it's not the proper way to go. And I still want to feel normal. I want to be able to go do all the regular things. So I better not feel too cocky and too confident, or everybody will shut me down around here.
Right. So you're not allowing yourself really to like smell the roses and rest on your laurels. You're kind of trying to put it all past you at this point, right?
Yeah, it's just it was a good night. It was a great night. Just like you go to the casino and you hit big. It's a good night. It's a great night. You still got work on Monday. Maybe you call off sick on Monday, but you better not do it Tuesday because then you won't have a job anymore. So never let something go to your head too much. And I'm not gonna let that or anything else go to my head too much. It was a great night. It was fun. It was fantastic. What's next?
Is it true after the fight you didn't stick around in Vegas? You actually drove home. You drove to
Yeah.
California to see your grandmother, right?
Yeah, I wanted to see grandma. I haven't been to church all year because it's been a crazy year. Every time I go to California, I always dip off quick. I can't sit still. So yeah, I went there, popped my head in church, and then got on the road and drove back to Texas. So, that was fun.
Wow. And are you back in Texas now?
Yeah, back in Texas, just in my
Dang.
boy's house. I was gonna get a fade by Eddie, but We had to they wanted to go do some other things, and the jeweler hit me up and said one of those Christmas presents were ready, so I go grab that while I can.
So I want to talk to you about Saturday, and I referred to you on Monday's show with DC, and I don't even know if this makes any sense to you, if it means anything to you, but I said like you're the UFC's version of Gary Payton. Do you remember Gary Payton, the basketball player, the glove?
A little bit, yeah, yeah,
Well, the glove, and I say this with the utmost respect, he never stopped talking, right? He was known as one of the
yeah.
best trash talkers in the history of the NBA. He just did not stop from the beginning of the game to the end, but he backed it up. He's a legend. He's a Hall of Famer, right? He's a legend in the game.
That's a good way to
And
go.
that's when I saw you walk out and you did not stop talking from the beginning to the end on a big stage like this. Like, it's one thing to do it, but you're fighting Jacare. I was like, man, this guy is something else. Why do you feel the need to do that? Is that just something that you do, or is it something that's part of the mind game
Yeah.
to throw him off his game?
No, it's just who I am, and it's like what comes to mind is just what goes, and it's like if I feel the need to talk, I'm gonna talk. Closed mouth never got fed, and I always have something to say, and I'm always hungry. So I don't know, it's like I'm just out there having a good time, and a part of having a good time is conversation. Conversation rules the world, So we're just in there speaking and greeting, doing our thing, the the officials that they used, the officials were cool, they were good people. House back there wrapping my hands. He's a great character, somebody dope to talk to. The referee, I've had the same referee almost every fight this year, so he knows how I am. He knows how I get down. So, it's like it's almost like I'm just out there hanging out. It's like I'm so used to seeing the UFC crew. I'm so used to doing everything, that we've been doing this year. So it's like I'm really just out there just having a good old time. And then Jacare was down. Jacare was out there dancing and he was grooving. And, if I spoke to him, he spoke back, really respectful. So it was a good time. It was a good time for me. It's like, his birthday was the week before that. I went on a post and said, hey, we're going to celebrate your birthday in a week. Don't trip. And we went out there, we danced, we had a good time. I don't know if anybody had any drinks after. I had to go. I had to shoot out early. I'm sorry, but ultimately it was a great night. I don't, it sucks to lose, but I think, overall, Jacare had a great spirit from the beginning to the end of the night, and a legend for a reason, and it was a good night for a reason. Props to Jacare. He actually gave me his gloves to give to my grandfather because my grandfather was a big fan of Jacare.
Wow.
So, it's like Jacare is amazing. The night was amazing. Me talking the whole time, was just all a part of us having a good old time, and that's what I try and have every time I go in there. A good old time.
In the back, he gave you the gloves?
In the back, yeah, in the back. When I was walking out, he was in the medical thing. I went and I seen him. He asked me to come in there. Came in there. He gave me the gloves and said, "Give him to grandfather. He's a big fan of mine, right?" I said, "Yes, sir." Told him we're all big fans of his, which we all are. And he told me to give the gloves to Pop with the blue tape on them. He said, "Give those to Pop," and so,
Wow. How
which
did
is
he
really
know that?
nice. I guess from watching some of the interviews and stuff like that. So, and then I told him when we were in the cage and after the fight, I went over there. I almost got emotional for a second. I always tell myself never cry in the cage, but I almost got emotional for a second there, Jacare, it's like a lot of people have people that look like, oh, this guy's this, this guy's that, but Jacare, it's like if you know, you know what I mean, if you watch and you like just like pure good fighting, Jacare is a beast, and it's like from the alligator clapping to the way he would sub people to the way he'd knock people out. It's like he's always been somebody entertaining to watch, and he's an OG in the game, and it's like a Strike Force champ. It sucks that he never got the UFC champ, but it's like Strike Force champ for sure. And one of the first things that I seen was Strike Force. My grandpa, like I said, he should switch back and forth from Strike Force to boxing, Strike Force to boxing. That was just his thing, So, Showtime and HBO right
Right.
there next to each other.
Um, you said right before you knocked him out that you dreamt of that moment, right? So can you tell us what was that dream about? Like what do you remember from that dream? Like you were literally in a fight with Jacare?
Yeah. Yeah, when you're young, man, you're always like, oh, I could take that person out. I could beat that person. I wasn't even trained at the time. Just like, I could beat that person out. Oh, I bet I can beat that person. Probably like, man, Jacare a beast, man. Don't say that about Jacare. But he felt the same way about the Diaz brothers. So it was like one night I had this big old guy in my dream, and I was like in one of those little cages, and I was in the cage, he was beating the crap out of me, and I was like, dang, it seemed like none of my punches were hurting him or anything. It's just one of those dreams where you just nothing's working, and he was the big monster across from you. And it was Jacare. And I was like, woo. Pop's right. I better watch what I say. You know what I mean? That was a horrible dream. And so when I was there and he hit me, and I was like, dude, this is familiar. It's like deja vu. Here I am, here again. I was like, I better get up out of here. Coach said, don't stay underneath Jacare too long. I better get up. And so in the process of getting up, I just chunked it. I was like, I'm trying to change this dream real quick. Got about that atmosphere.
So
So
obviously,
it's definitely nice.
obviously you were happy about it and it was an incredible finish. I'm going to ask you about it, but it did seem afterwards like you were, you were a little bummed that it had to be Jacare, right? Because you have so much respect for him, right? Was it strange to
Exactly.
do that, to knock him out like that because of the respect that you have for the guy?
Yeah, the respect I have for Jacare, it sucks to have to do that to Jacare, but at the same time, going in there, I knew what I had to do to beat Jacare, So yeah, it definitely sucked. And then after that, it's like you ask yourself, why do you always seems like you always have to get fights against people that are cool and that you might actually like? Why can't I just beat the crap out of the guys that I don't really I'm not really that fond of, And it's like at that moment in time, that's kind of what I'm feeling like, oh, this could have been this guy, that guy, but it wasn't, it's Jacare, and it's like job's a job though, we do what we got to do.
Is that a sequence? I mean, I don't even know if you can practice something like that, but like to knock someone off your back like that is very rare. Is that something that you actually prepare for? Do you put yourself in that spot and see if you can actually unleash that kind of power off your back?
No, we get in that position a lot to see if you can get back up. That's about
Right.
it. I mean, I may chunk that shot in the gym, trying to get back up, practicing getting up. But, that's just playing around. It's never like, oh, I'm going to go out there and knock somebody out off my back, or I'm going to go out there and devastate somebody from here. No, you just practice on getting up, get back to your feet and striking again and looking for openings as you stand up. It just worked out, man. Like I hit him here, which is a good. People say, well, that doesn't do anything to anybody. Well, it's supposed to be a pressure point up here, and it's like it was in a dirty 30 breakdown for my original for Kung Fu. It was a part of getting a new belt. Yeah, I didn't know the dirty 30. It's like you ask me dirty 30 now, and it's like I probably hit about 17. Get lucky, and it's like but that was one of those spots that I remembered. So it's like executed with precision, but the game plan just at the spare of the moment. Good thing I had it.
I might be
Good thing I
off
had it.
about this, but initially when you were hitting with the elbows during the first exchange when you were on your back, it almost felt like you hit him there and like you stopped for a second. Did something happen? And again, I could have misread this, but it almost felt like you hit him so hard that you almost stopped for a second because it seemed like there was a bump that formed. Am I totally off on this? Because for a moment you paused, and I almost thought his head indented. To be honest, it felt like the Cyborg and MVP moment from a couple of years ago in Bellator. Did that happen, or am I crazy?
No, I was just looking for angles. If I
Okay.
stopped at any point in time, I was looking for angles, and I didn't want to lose the grip on the as I was kind of holding the triangle there. If I was elbowing just to set up a triangle, it's like or the omoplata. It's like if I could have subbed Jacare, that would have been a great night. Then I would have felt real happy. So I was looking to put him in bad situations so I can capitalize and put myself in a good spot. I didn't feel anything. But I was cracking him with the elbow. It felt
Yes.
good, but no, I
Looked like
didn't
they hurt.
stop for no specific reason.
Okay. And
Would have been nice
amazingly,
though.
they were very nice. Yeah. Amazingly, you were supposed to headline 2 weekends ago against Hermanson. You get
Mhm.
COVID and they do the switcheroo. But how did the COVID affect you? Because it just seemed like the day we found out you were out, they booked you in this new fight. While it seemed like you still had COVID, like physically, how did it affect you?
Physically, I didn't feel anything. To be
Wow.
honest with you, physically, I was good the whole time. Got the family tested. Everybody came back negative. We were pretty much good. We were all good in the house. For 2 days, I felt like I had a common cold. And that was before I knew I had the COVID. And that was like the day before Thanksgiving. And then on Thanksgiving. And then it seemed like I got the test, woke up the next day and was like, man, they tripping. I feel good. Give me another fight. What do we have on the books? Uh, I never felt down. I trained in the garage the whole time until I got 2 negative tests and I could go back to the gym. I got 2 negative tests before a week was up, and it's like, you only had a week before you had to go and get on the plane to go to Vegas anyways. I had 2 negative tests before that was up and was already training again. So no big deal. I felt maybe a false positive, who knows, but it all worked out.
Were you bummed that you lost out on a main event? That I mean, obviously that was a big deal against a known guy. Did that bum you out?
No, not really. It was nice to get the notoriety. No, no, it was nice to get the notoriety and everything for, about to get that spot and, it was cool and everything, but it was never really mine to begin with. It was Darren Till's. So I was just stepping in to fulfill that fight. All of a sudden, I couldn't step in to fulfill the fight, but I still had another fight lined up. I was just happy to have something, and it's like the thought of not fighting sucks. The thought of losing a fight, yeah, shit happens. Not fighting, I don't like the way that sounds. So as long as you can give me something else, I ain't gonna cry over spilt milk. I just pour another glass. You
What'd
know,
you think of Vittori's performance against Hermanson?
it was good. They both had a good performance, not just for Tori but Hermanson as well. It was a good fight. I thought Hermansson had better takedowns than that. Maybe Vettori just had better takedown defense. It was a good fight. It was like rock'em sock'em robots. Vettori went out there looking like, shaved head, looking like the boss baby. Props to Vettori. And it's like he finally got his quabos together and took a fight. Oh, sorry, took a fight. But it's like last second. I was proud of him for stepping up. But other than that, good fight. Rock'em sock'em robots for sure. It's like I'm no robot. I'm a machine, but no robot. I wouldn't sit there and take punches like that. I'd rather get out the way. But really good fight from them. His straight left looked pretty good. He never looked better. It's like the boss baby haircut definitely fits though. Definitely fits.
It's crazy because you lose out on the main event, but you get to fight a guy that your grandfather looks up to, who's a legend in the sport. So in the end, it all kind of worked out, right?
Yeah, it worked out. It worked out. I definitely can't complain. It's like we swapped places. He did good in his fight. The fight that I was supposed to have, right? I looked better in the fight that he was supposed to have. So it's okay.
If I would have told you this time last year after the Darren Stewart fight and all that, would you have believed me that this year would have turned out this way? Like, would you believe me that like everyone has had a horrible 2020, right? Or not everyone, but a lot of people have had horrible 20. You've had a fantastic 2020 in many respects. Would you have believed me that it would have all turned out like this year?
No. Nah. Not ending the way that it's ended. It's like it's ended on a very high note, finishing Jacare the way I finished Jacare and then all the things that's coming from it. And it's really nice to finish people in the UFC because boy, the bonuses and the meetings and all the extra stuff that comes after are dope. But no, I never would have expected it to go like this, but I for sure can't complain.
And obviously, I misspoke, and I knew it didn't sound right when I said his name. You beat Darren Stewart. He was talking about how it was a close fight. Obviously, Brendan Allen was what I was talking about late last year. That fight.
Yeah, I had a feeling. You know what I
Because I
mean?
saw Darren
I didn't
Stewart
want to.
talking. Have you seen him talk about you recently?
He has these little things, and it's like I don't get it. It's like I didn't say anything wrong in my interview. I said he was a nice guy. It's like I said he's not the one asking for the fight. Um, I went ahead and let everybody know, like, it's a stupid question to keep asking if we should fight again when I've had this many fights in between our fight and I've won, and I've done my thing. He should fight and do a thing, and we could fight again. I was down to fight right away. And it's like, but yeah, I've seen the little things he said, but like, let's keep it 100. If he wanted to fight right away, he should have said he wanted to fight right away. I went up to Dana and said I was down to fight right away, and I was the one that got nodded. I was the one that got the W. It's like they went home and they were talking about how they needed different judges and stuff like that. Okay, well, right after our fight, didn't they go back to? Since then, haven't they went back to the Fight Island? You could have asked to go back to Fight Island. You never asked for that, so it's like it doesn't make any sense to cry over spilt milk. It's like if you want to fight, do what you got to do to get the fight, and I'll fight. I've never said no. So all that crying and bickering and talking about this interview and that interview, it's stupid. Shut up. If you're a fighter, fight. If you're gonna cry about it, go make a TikTok video. It's like, sorry for cussing.
No problem. Do you believe that you're the fighter of the year?
Eh, you know, it'd be nice to have a little award to put up in the man cave, but it ultimately doesn't. I don't think you get a check for it, right?
No, I don't. Not that I know of. I mean, I know the UFC is starting to do
No.
their own now, but I don't think so.
Yeah, it's not more money, and it's not it's just it's more ego for somebody. Somebody else can get it if it makes them feel better about themselves, but I feel great about myself. So fighter of the year, and it's like all my boys and people that I really opinions that I care about, they think I'm the fighter of the year. That's all that matters. We'll go out, we'll have a badass barbecue. We don't have to worry about so much COVID, and we'll do our thing, but that'll be our celebration. But I don't need the trophy. Will be nice in the man cave, but at the same time, I'm not even going with that theme in the man cave. So
What theme are
why?
you going with?
I don't know really, to be honest. I want video games and stuff like that. It's like I want a cool chill vibe when you go in there. You can play dominoes and stuff like that. Just some art on the walls and stuff. It's like I don't want a bunch of fighting stuff in there. It's like that. That's that's overkill. It's like every moment can't be about me.
Sure,
I go
sure.
up there and play the video games. That's an escape. I just want to play video games. It's like it's probably it's a very 420 friendly room. So
I
I
got
don't
you.
need that fighting stuff in there.
Okay.
It needs to be
So
chill.
how soon, like realistically, perfect world, are you shooting for the January 16th card? Are you shooting to fight next month on Fight Island if
Is
that's where
that
they go?
no, No,
No.
I don't really want to go to Fight Island. Like, if we're being honest, it's like I don't really want to go to Fight Island.
Why not?
It's like I like the Apex.
Okay.
It's like I'm fine with it. The Apex. It's like Fight Island's like a vacation for some of these guys. I'm not going to have fun. I'm going to work. So nice island and stuff like that. I'm down to go out there and watch some fights. You can put me out there watch some fights. That'd be sick. To fight, I go right down the street to the Apex. I'm cool with that. Now, like I said, if Darren Stewart gets some wins and they say I need to rematch Darren Stewart, I'll go to the freaking Fight Island for Darren Stewart just so he can't cry and say about the judges. I'll do that for him because he's a good guy. I do that for him. But just to go out there for nothing, no. And it's like if me and Derek Brunson are gonna fight, I could fight him right here locally. It's like we're both right out here. Let's just do it here. We don't have to waste money on an air flight. It's like we could both drive to the Apex. Let's do that. I like the way that sounds. And so yeah, if it makes sense for them to fly me there, I'll fly there. If not, let's keep it at the Apex. Whenever they go back to the Apex, I'm down for that.
Is that the next one? Is he the next one on your list, Derek Brunson?
I would love for it to be. It's like I would love for it to be. If you keep speaking it, it may just happen. So keeps talking about it.
Why would you love for it to be?
We've had a few little talks, and it's like we were supposed to be on the same card with when he fought Edmund Shabazian. I was supposed to be fighting Trevin Giles. That fight fell apart. I think I was low key hoping his fight fell apart so I could fight him that night. Didn't work out. I was watching him warm up in the back room. He just looks weird when he warms up. He just strikes so funny to me. I want to beat him up because I don't like the way he strikes. He just looks awkward. It's like a disrespect to striking. It's sad that he's knocked out strikers before with that weird striking. He messaged me before, like he wanted me to help him get ready for the Israel Sonya fight. You know what I'm saying? And I kind of like turned it down. And it sucked because they were flooding and stuff like that. So I was kind of glad I didn't go because I didn't want to deal with all that. But it kind of sucks I didn't go because I could have been a help to people who are going through it. But to help Derek Brunson, it's like it would suck because he's probably pretty good in the gym. He probably just sucks, when he's fighting. He looks weird like that. So I don't know, man. It's like he messaged me another time after I beat Anthony Hernandez and was like, "Good fight. You ever try and do me like that, I'll throw you on your head." What type of comment is that? Why are you talking about throwing somebody on their head? And I was like, I messaged him back all hostile, and he kind of was like, "Bro, I was, trying to see if you wanted to train, and you up here tripping." And I was like, "Don't tell me you're gonna throw me on my head. You may talk to other wrestlers like that, but I'm a striker. Don't talk to me like that. That's fighting words." And then it just seems like he's always trying to give me some advice or something, and I'm just like, "Bro, you're not my uncle. You're not my dad. You're not my mentor. You're not my coach. You're nobody special. Your record's really not that great. Why are you trying to give me advice?" It's like you should really just shut up and stay in your place. And so when I seen him at the airport that time, it's like he tried to talk me down like if I was tripping and I'm always so hostile. And you're right, I am hostile. He was like, "Man, you're ready to fight me right here in the airport." It's like, what is wrong with you? I don't like you. That's what's wrong with me. It's like you're annoying. You're in my inbox saying stupid. And he's like, "Well, you tag me. I tag you because you had something to say to me. If you never played with me, I wouldn't play with you." And it's as simple. It's like just don't like the guy. It's just he gets on my nerves. Maybe it's not a good enough story for the people, but it's a good enough story for me to want to put my right hand on his freaking face, And it's like, and for some reason the right hand's doing pretty good lately. So, and for some reason his chin doesn't take those too well, So it's a good fight for me. Good fight for me. Besides it being a good fight for me, I just don't like the guy. So yeah.
Have you expressed this to the UFC? Do you know if they're interested as well?
In the Derek Brunson fight?
Yeah.
I hope so. I hope Mick's interested in it. That'd be nice. It'd be real nice, especially since I couldn't compete this weekend in jiu-jitsu. It'd be nice to get the Derek Brunson fight. It'd be nice to have something lined up so I can start getting ready for something. It's like right after Christmas, I'd love to be right back in the gym full steam.
If he said something to you, you said, if you ever try me like that again, what do you mean by that? Like try you like what?
No, he was like, if you ever try that against me. After my Anthony Hernandez fight.
Gotcha.
With the knee to the, the knee, the elbow, it was a good finish. He's like, if you ever try that against me, I'll throw you on your head. He was probably joking. He was probably trying to be cool. And it's like, I didn't think it was cool. I thought it was, I don't know. Yeah, he's different. He's not my cup of tea. Everybody has their own cup of tea. He's not mine. I took 2 sips, didn't like the guy, spit it out. Now I'm just waiting to flush him down the toilet. It's like, I'm glad he has some wins. And then it makes sense in that part too. Not very many people at 85 right now have a bunch of W's. Me and my manager and my coaches, we're talking about that. He has some wins right now. So, fighting him right now kind of makes sense. He has wins. I have wins. He's at the top of the heap. I'm getting close. I know he doesn't want to fight people that's not ranked in a spot that puts him close to a title, but I got some hype underneath my name right now, quote unquote. And on top of that, it's like, if the UFC wants to give me a good fight, I think that's a favorable fight for me.
This time next year, end of 2021, will you have either fought for a UFC title or will you be UFC champion?
If I fought for the title, I am UFC champion. I see how you try to do that there.
Okay, will you be booked to fight? Or option C, will you be booked to fight? Are you on the verge of fighting for a UFC belt?
I don't know, man. I got to do, if Derek Brunson's number 7, right?
Yeah.
I beat Derek Brunson, I'm number 7. Then I beat up number 6, I'm number 6. Then I beat up number 5, I'm number 5. I do that all the way to the second contender. That's 6 fights in a year, right? That's the 6 fights that I asked for. Is my math? I hope my math's right there. That's the 6 fight that I asked for, right? I'm right there. I'm number 1 contender. I don't have to fight the champ, And then 2022 though, I'm the champion, El Champion. I'm shooting for 6 fights next year, not a belt. It's like, let's break a record, one record at a time.
You think it's possible?
6 fights in a year?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we did 5 months. We did 5 fights in 7 months. 6 fights in 12 months. Very possible.
Okay, so that actually means more to you right now than fighting Izzy for the belt.
Yeah, I mean, plus Izzy's up there doing his own thing. It's like, plus he might not even be the champ when the time comes. He might be heavyweight champ by the time I fight for the middleweight belt. He might be out acting or doing a Puma commercial or something. It's like, who knows what Izzy's gonna be doing? It's like, he might be fighting for all the colored flags around the road. It's like, who knows what Izzy's gonna be doing? I don't know. You know what I mean? Props to Izzy. What I'm gonna be doing, I'm gonna be smacking everybody in the 185 division. That's for sure. That's for sure.
Well, what a year, man. What a story. Unbelievable.
Thank you.
Well deserved, well earned. 5 fights, 5 wins. And the part that everyone is sort of glossing over, but I'm happy you said it. You did it in 7 months. That's the crazy part about all this. I mean, it's really unbelievable. If we had a normal year, no pandemic, maybe you get those 6 fights. Although I will give you props. I do think because of the pandemic, you were able to be a little more active as opposed, so
Definitely.
you kind of benefited from that as well. So there's good and bad in that story, but props to you on taking advantage of it all, and happy holidays. And I look forward to what you do in 2021. I'm sold, by the way, on the Brunson fight. You sold me, just for the record. I'm all in now.
Well, shoot, if you're in, you convinced DC to be in. We convinced the UFC to be in. We got some media behind it. Let's go.
All right. I will work on that. And next time I want to talk to Pop. All right.
All right. I got you, Ariel. I'm gonna set up. I'm gonna go get me a laptop so we can call him. I'm gonna give you his number so you can do an interview with Pop.
I would love it. He sounds like a really smart MMA fan, an old school fan.
Yeah, but don't ask him no questions about me because he'll give all the beans. So don't do that.
Fair enough.
He'll spill it all.
Enjoy the victory, and I look forward to what's next for you.
Thank you, Ariel. I appreciate it, man.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.